Come one, come all. Spontaneous views. Part 3. What happened to Malcolm Jamal Warner? It's the third part. Y'all know how I get down. Shout out to Black Balloon. I think I might be just focusing on just his video. I might have one more. I actually got a paperwork party that I want to do too. But we ain't about to waste no time. Part 3. Let's go. This is the continuation of part 2, obviously. Let's go, man. Let's crack the code. And to be honest with you, I know on the last part I might have said that this might be the last part, but I don't know. Whatever the spirit lead me, I'm going to keep gunning. Let's go.
Talked a little bit more about TMZ. So with that being said, y'all, we'll jump into this clip. We'll come back and wrap the video up, all right? Check this out.
Public figures, their lives, their details, and use it to make money. And meanwhile, you don't ever hear them promoting what these people were really about. No, it's just that moment. And now here we are. The distraction has become completely confused. TMZ don't know what to talk about. And now all of a sudden they got footage. The question is what law enforcement agency handed that over to you? Because you were not following Malcolm Jamal Warner, which means you were able to get into either some kind of TSA camera or something. Like, how are these people always Johnny on the spot and nobody's ever really calling them out on it? You know, personally, me, I'm still grappling with the notion of how he passed away. What I am trying to get to the bottom of is, like, that got to the news really fast.
Real fast.
Yeah.
Like, we don't cover international news like that.
And I said that on part 1. I said, how did they get the news that fast? If he passed on a Sunday, we got the news that Monday. The autopsy was done that Tuesday. How did we get all that information in international waters? They was on the other side of the world. Like, how did we get that information that fast? This was orchestrated. This whole thing was orchestrated. They're taking pictures. Think about it. They're taking pictures or taking one single photo or video of Malcolm Jamal Warner. He's not doing nothing. He's just randomly just out chilling. Why would you what gave you the notion to take that video at that particular moment and you didn't share it with no one else? But after he passed, now all of a sudden this picture or this video is circulating the net like crazy. Come on, man.
That here, like, I can't remember, like, it got here really, really, really fast. And
they said it happened on the 20th, Costa Rican time. It was about 2 p.m. in Costa Rica time. So I guess where are they at, Costa Rica? If
I think
Costa
that's
Rica's
an hour ahead of us.
Specific
South
time,
America.
almost, right?
Is it?
But yeah.
I thought Costa Rica.
Yeah, Costa
Is it
Rica
Pacific time?
it's Central America.
It's Central America.
Okay.
But I want to say it's an hour ahead. I'm not sure.
Like, it actually was like, what, 2 o'clock. They're like an hour ahead.
Right.
I
An
know.
hour ahead of Pacific Standard, and they're 2 hours behind New York.
So, like, Central time.
Right. Yeah,
Or
they're 2 hours
Mountain time.
behind Eastern. 2
Mountain
hours behind Eastern. I think it's 2 hours behind. Yeah.
So they're
But-
behind.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
mountain
Oh,
time.
I'm
hour
saying it-
behind. But anyway,
Hour
it's
behind, that'd
like-
be Central time. Regardless, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Like a bullet. And I'm just like,
It still got here mad
was-
quick.
it was an accidental drowning. I can't see why the authorities would have been, like, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not like he was there working on a film. It's not like he was there working on a movie. He was there on a private family vacation.
It's almost like the Left Eye thing.
Yeah.
But Left
Deep.
Eye, yeah, that's a whole nother. Man. See, like I said, that's why I said I don't want to dive into that just yet. But yeah,
I don't want to
anyway.
dive into it just yet, but the simple fact that news could make it from a place where, like, it just, it's not like it was a plane crash. It's
Right.
not like it was a boat. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how were they able to get the information, from the authorities there, and it was labeled
And
this.
not
Like,
only
how
get the
long
information,
was he?
like not only get the information, verify the information, make sure the information is correct, make sure his next of kin is notified. I remember in part 2 I mentioned about they saying someone called. I think it was part 1. I think someone called his wife, but no one knows who called the wife. Like, it's just too mysterious. This right here, man, this is crazy.
He out there in the water, like, and I think that's the thing that people really don't pay attention to, how information gets to us, the way it gets to us, and why that information. It would have made more sense if we had heard about it this weekend,
Right, like a week later.
you know what I mean, this coming weekend.
But in the same
for that
48
to
hours,
happen, how long was he out there? How long did
Right.
it take for them to find him? He was like,
he was out there for
and
a
then
week.
boom.
But check it though, he was out there for a week because he was out there 7/13 based off my part 2 video. He was out there for a week before he passed. So that means for that week, they obviously was finding or following him, I should say. There was something weird going on. From what I'm hearing, he was getting text messages, threatening text messages that talk about your time is coming. I'm paraphrasing, this is all alleged. But from what I'm hearing, that's what happened. Like, he was getting followed, and he wasn't on a vacation. He was trying to escape from being someplace, and they followed him. Obviously, he was getting followed because, again, from part 2 video, he had pictures of him leaving Atlanta airport, and they had the same picture of him in Costa Rica with the same shirt on. So he was obviously being followed.
TMZ's all over it, and then boom, they got the footage of him on his way to Costa Rica. Like, it's like they're sitting here marketing pain and marketing
Right.
trauma, and nobody's asking why.
Now, look, y'all, I'm not even trying to stretch it, but you can't tell me that it's very eerie that TMZ are the last to get photos of Malcolm. Essentially, the last to take the photos.
The last that
Because
take
more
it,
than likely, it was paparazzi that took both of these photos.
but it could have been.
And then they're the first.
But it could have been a paparazzi that works with TMZ. Remember, I think in part 1, I think Introvert Rockstar had listed off the people that they use, that TMZ used, like hotel workers, flight attendants, people that traveled, like that's always on the move. I mentioned that in part 1.
First to report his death. Like she said, kind of got to question how this information was made available to TMZ so fast.
Too fast.
It's looking like they already knew his demise was on the way. I legitimately think they followed him to
Yes.
capture these last photos.
Yes.
She said it perfect. It's almost like they were marketing his death afterwards. They had something to show you of a last photo, something to show you
So you
of a
can
last
remember that.
video. And it just happened to be on the trip to his demise.
Yep.
They followed this man to his death
Yep.
just to have something to give to the people. I mean, think about
They
how
knew he was
demonic
gonna
this
die.
is.
That's why they had these
It's
photos.
like they want to dangle it in your face.
Right.
Because if we didn't have these last photos, last videos, the video that he last recorded and put out on his daughter's birthday with the flower in his ear.
And I'm glad he mentioned that. The daughter. Out of all these photos, why there's no photos of him with his daughter? If he was on a vacation, where's the photos of him with his family? The only photos that you see from Malcolm Jamal Warner from this Costa Rican trip that he went on is of him. But if he rescued his daughter, wouldn't they have a picture of his daughter in these photos? You got a picture of Malcolm, I'm pretty sure. And even when he's in the airport, it doesn't look like he's attending to anyone that's like a child. Even though there's still photos, I have kids. I can tell if I'm in in the airport, I'm going to be alert. I'm not going to just be head up high. I'm gonna be like, you got everything? You in the airport, so you want to make sure you got your bags and everything that a child has, so they won't lose nothing. So his attention, from what I'm looking at, and I could be wrong, but from his attention, it doesn't look like he had a child with him.
It's like if we didn't have those, there wouldn't be as much of an emotional attachment. Now the people who don't really think about it the way that we do, they're sad, they feel very hurt, which is nothing wrong with that because, the man was out the way. You know what I'm saying? So the ones that don't think the way that we do, they are just fully harvesting that energy. Fully harvesting it. Mm. But I think...
All right, family, let's turn up a little bit. This Paperwork Party, shout out to Paperwork Party TV. He actually went to Costa Rica. This is a live video of him in Costa Rica at the same scene where Malcolm Jamal Warner allegedly drowned.
Let me see, where the comments at? There you go. All right, gang. We going straight to where Malcolm died, gang. I'm gonna teach y'all about these ways real quick, and then, gang, I got some more for you. We finna go to the exact spot where Malcolm passed away, gang. This shit crazy.
Now I know I'm not showing you guys this, so I'm gonna give you the best way of a description of what I'm looking at. This is a very wooded beach area,
I'm gonna tell y'all something.
And I don't think Malcolm was in this area. It doesn't look like a heavily populated area that you would want to take your daughter.
Nah, it's showing, but you got to
They even got the signs out.
Look where it say Rip Karen. Can you see that? All right. You see it?
I wish I could show y'all this, but real quick, y'all know YouTube changed their laws or something to where you can't show someone else's video, if I'm not mistaken. Even though I'm creating my own content, I can't show it, and somewhere along the lines, like you will be unable to monetize, which it'll be hard for me to monetize anyway, but I really want to show y'all it, but I know YouTube changed some guidelines around the 15th of July, so I ain't really trying to play with all that.
Got a big delay. All right, gang, we got a little delay on our end, but don't worry.
But if you could look at this, it's no way that he went here
I gotta be
with
careful,
his daughter. Like his tree branches all in the way.
Careful.
There's nobody on this side of the beach. So there wouldn't be a lifeguard there. So for them to say he was in this area, it's very, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you could just see this.
All right, gang, so this is the exact spot where Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away. The exact spot, gang. The exact spot. This is what I want y'all to notice. Nobody's on the beach. Do y'all see that?
There's nobody out there.
Nobody's on the beach. Notice that, gang?
There's nobody out there.
Nobody's on the beach. I'm here by myself. Malcolm did not go swimming by himself on this beach. Okay? Now that's a lie. If anybody want to tell you that Malcolm was on this beach all by himself, they lying. The only thing you will see is horses. Here goes some horses right here. You may see a few tourists. That's it.
But there's no way that he just settled.
Nobody's on the beach, gang.
It's just too wooded areas. Like, you have people on horses passing by.
Nobody was here. We got some horses passing by.
So this wouldn't be a typical place to go swimming.
Horses. How you doing, ma'am? How you doing?
Why would you not go to the populated area?
Matter of fact, it's horses on the beach.
It doesn't even make sense.
Ain't nobody swimming on the beach. It's horses
obviously
on the
they
beach.
use the bathroom anywhere.
How you doing?
Why would you want to go to a beach where horses is passing by and could potentially have manure on the ground?
Who brought Malcolm to this beach?
Somebody brought him there.
Who brought him? Now,
There's no
look
way.
at that person out there surfing. Is there somebody out there? I think it's one person is out there. Now, let me tell you what they told me about this place. They said only people surf that come out here. If you're not surfing, you're not supposed to be.
And remember on, I think it was part 2, I think it was part 1, where they mentioned something about a surfboard. But again, the story changed because now all of a sudden you didn't hear anything about a surfboard. You didn't hear that. And if it was, why wouldn't it be 2 surfboards? Because if he brought his daughter out there with him, wouldn't she want a surfboard? Or even if she didn't have it, where did the surfboard come into play? Now all of a sudden you don't hear about the surfboard no more. Again, story changing.
Be out here. Okay? Now, gang, I got a treat to tell y'all. I know where they brought him from. Look, they lying their ass off, gang. He was not on this beach.
Mm-mm. He was brought there.
He was not on this beach, gang.
There's no way.
No Coast Guard.
It's the way this area. This is like the backside of a beach to where like nobody would be there.
There's no way he brought his daughter. Stars Z Light. Nowhere in here. Stars Z Light.
He wouldn't have brought his daughter out here. Right.
Shout out to Stars Z Light.
I won't bring my brothers out there, and they big as me.
Ain't no way.
I wouldn't go out there, and I'm 6'6".
They pulled him out the water right here, gang. This is where they pulled him out the water.
The way this water looking, I'm not going out there. And I'm 6'6". It's no way.
That this man was on this beach.
Mm-mm.
Ain't no way.
You could tell there's no
here.
footprints. You know how you have footprints in the beach, in the sand, There's no footprints of nobody.
Do you see
it's not an
else out
area
here?
where people are going to be
part.
heavily trafficked.
I don't see Tanisha. I don't see the doctor. I don't see nothing but paperwork party out here. Where's Tanisha? Where's the doctor? Come on, gang. Come on. Let me walk down a little bit more down here. Come on, gang. Malcolm done down this beach.
Nah.
I'm over here hugged out. I got my tummy heel figures on. Oh my God,
All right, fam. Let's reverse to another video. This is another commentary by Miss T. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really looked at this video. Like I said, it's a lot of satire videos out. So if this one ain't hitting, I'm gonna go to the next one. But I'm trying to piece this together for y'all. But yeah, let's see what we got on this one.
Wright is now saying that Malcolm Jamal Warner didn't just jet off to Costa Rica for a peaceful getaway like the headlines want us to believe. According to her, Malcolm Jamal Warner wasn't on vacation. He was on the run. She claims he knew someone was coming for him and he was so scared for his life, like genuinely afraid something bad was about to happen. And here's where things started to feel real suspicious. There's this creepy video of Malcolm just hours before he died, walking alone on a dark beach.
Pause. Okay, remember earlier in the video where Jaguar asked the question, how do people get certain videos? Like, how was you there right there at the right time to get this particular video, image, whatever you're trying to capture in that moment? How did you know? Now, right here, again, this is a very blurry picture or video, but they're saying that this is Malcolm Jamal Warner walking along the edge of the beach. Now, again, this is all alleged because if I was to have to go to court and I had to present this to a jury and to a judge and to identify that this was Malcolm Jamal Warner in this video, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm listening to this, being objective. I'm almost like, it's like I'm eating the fish and I'm spitting out the bones, if that makes any sense. I'm looking at it objectively, but I know there can be a little bit of falseness going on with this video. But let's just go.
At first glance, it looked normal, but then
it doesn't even look like him by the walk, because for one, Malcolm Jamal Warner is a little muscular. And the guy that was in that video was a little skinnier, and like I said, I grew up watching Malcolm Jamal Warner on the Cosby Show, so I can understand his walk. You know what I'm saying? I just off of human nature, you're going to remember someone's walk. So if I'm looking at a picture and I'm going to be like, nah, that don't look like Malcolm Jamal Warner. So again, that's alleged to me because again, that body frame of this person that was in that video was a little skinnier than what the Malcolm that we seen in the airport videos.
Relax. It looks off. He looks like something was weighing heavy on him, and his energy was tense like he was watching his back, and people are now saying it felt like he knew something we didn't.
Now we finally have an update on the drowning death of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Now, according to ABC7, they stated that Malcolm Jamal Warner had drowned while he was on vacation in Costa Rica. Now, the article goes on to say that Warner had drowned off the coast of Costa Rica on Sunday. So this actually occurred on Sunday. They stated that the Costa Rican National Police had told this to ABC News.
So now the question is, who was he?
Hold up. The National Coast Guard local team police told. Hold up, back that up. I didn't get that.
They stated that the Costa Rican National Police had told this to ABC News.
The Costa Rican National Police told this to ABC. Okay.
So now the question is, who was he running from? Why hasn't this been all over the news?
But I thought TMZ was the one that obtained this information first. There was the one that broke that he passed. So is TMZ and ABC? Well, that's kind of if I was to really ask that. Y'all probably already know what I was going to say if I had asked that. Are they working together? But I mean, at this point.
Because if Jaguar's telling the truth, and let's be honest, she's been right before, then this wasn't just a tragic accident. Something was going on behind the scenes, and Malcolm might have been trying to send us a message before it was too late. But according to Jaguar, the reason Malcolm looked so shaken in that video was because he had allegedly just gotten threatened again, this time by some extremely powerful people he was planning to expose. She says the moment on that beach wasn't just some random late night walk, it was right after he got hit with another warning, and that's why he looked so tense, like he was wrestling with something. But here's the wild part. When that video first dropped, people already had questions. It just didn't sit right. It didn't look like himself, but some folks even started speculating that maybe he was under the influence of something, like hinting at drugs or some other substance, just trying to make sense of why he seemed so off. But here's where everything takes a sharp turn. When the autopsy results came back, they showed that there were no substances in Malcolm's system at all. So all those speculations about him possibly being high were wrong. But once you take that off the table, it forces you to look at the beach video with fresher eyes. Because if Malcolm was completely sober, then what had him looking so anxious? Now, Jaguar Wright's claims hit way harder, and if he really was getting threatened by powerful people, and if he knew he was in danger, then that video wasn't random. It could have been the moment he realized just how serious things had gotten, and honestly, that kind of changes things. And according to Jaguar, the story about him drowning doesn't really add up because allegedly...
One thing I hate about, real quick, is that she's saying what Jaguar Wright is saying. Now, I'm not saying Jaguar didn't say that. I just wish that she would have had her saying it, actually saying it, instead of her saying she said it, you know. But anyway, I'm really trying to get to something more
Hollywood comfortable.
It's kind of her commentary.
If you know anything about how this industry moves, then that's where
really
things can get dangerous. Well,
right
Jaguar
here
says Malcolm wasn't willing to be the quiet, compliant, safe version of a...
Yeah, that ain't really, that's a lot of hearsay, if that makes any sense. Let me go to this phase on Eddie Griffin. See if I can get some connect the dots with this one.
By NBC.
This black balloon.
Do you think that had any precedence over, or the reason why all these people came out, you know, saying that he did this to him because he was trying to make a power move in the black community, or just in the community in general as well, by buying NBC?
He was trying to be a beacon, and his son was murdered. Nobody ever mentions that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever mentions his son was murdered in the richest community in the world.
And it's Cosby, yeah, it's true.
There hasn't been a murder there since.
Wow.
There's definitely That's why, people have said, why are you riding so hard? Because it don't make sense.
Right. And I'm glad he said that. Why people might think, why am I riding so hard for Malcolm Jamal Warner? I'm making all these parts of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Why you ain't occupying your time doing something else? Because again, I don't want to let stuff like this just keep going in vain. If we don't have people that come out and talk and just give a perspective of what you think instead of the normal narration of what you hear. Give your own perspective about what you think. Don't be afraid. See, most people that question people that do what I'm doing right now, they're afraid to do it. That's the difference. I'm not afraid to do this because I know it's something in me that's telling me that something is wrong with this. But you're going to have people that question people that do videos like this. It's because I do not want this to go away. And then the next thing you know, it's going to be another one happen. And then somebody going to do a video on that. And 3 months later, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. And I'm tired of it. So I'm going to be a voice to talk about this stuff. Don't be scared. Like, I think that's the message that you could come out of this. I'm about to conclude this in a little bit.
None of this whole case don't make sense. Like, what? You said in 1872 I did what?
Yeah.
When black people couldn't even look at white women? You were scared back then to say something? And then now they found out that the testimony was all fucked up, and the girl, Janice, they had other girls come in and testify who had nothing to do with it, and she's a drug addict. So it's all it's something else going on, man. It's always something else going on.
Your take on what happened with Bill Cosby, with the allegations and everything else like that.
Look, first off, you have to remember this was in the 70s. All right? I'm old enough to remember the 70s. The 70s is a different time. All right? The 70s, motherfuckers all had Coke spoons around their fucking necklace. Mm-hmm. You go to the damn disco, nigga, the line is laid out on the table. Toot, toot. All right? When you want to level out after a hit of cocaine, you get a Quaalude. All right? So, did he rape these bitches? All of them said the same thing. We went to the room. Why would you go to the room of a known married man? Number one.
Meaning they're down to fuck anyways. Why would you go to a hotel room of a known married man? And he incorporates this whole marriage thing in his comedy routines, and it's not a secret that he's married.
You understand me?
Okay. So they're down to fuck.
I don't think.
Then they go back 30 years later and say, he raped me.
This is not a conversation where you talk about.
1984.
Right, because
I thought this was a interview with Eddie Griffin. I'm pretty sure I got one, but again, this is not going to be my last video. And I'm approaching the 30-minute mark, so I'm really trying to get something to kind of end the video
Cosby,
in this
but,
part 3 off.
It kind of connects getting to with this video. It's not really, for the sexual allegations that were against Bill Cosby. But, it kind of connects to the whole story. Because if you realize, even when Malcolm died, the media, they couldn't help but mentioning Bill Cosby charges, the show, even Malcolm went on record to talk about it.
All that got incorporated.
Tainting the success of the show and what they wanted it to be like, what they wanted the legacy to last as, right? But he said he was always going to back Bill Cosby, like he always had his back. They were still close. So, it's not completely about that, because even if there's a lot of people, I think where Eddie Griffin and Faison Love was getting at is they were saying that this is out of left field. they're basically saying they don't believe in the charges that
Oh
he
yeah,
didn't do that to over 60 women. You know, it made me think about, you know, it's to them. Like I said, if they
I'm trying to get to another part, but I might conclude this video, family.
You doing it a lot of stuff to come up early night or something like that, but
because I wanted to get to what Eddie Griffin had said. I thought that's the one I had pulled up, but I don't. And again, when I'm at the 30-minute mark, I don't know. I might do a part 4, might not. I mean, at this point, you guys get the drift basically as to what's going on. I could bring up some more stuff, but the first 3 videos out of this trilogy I just dropped, you kind of got the idea that this wasn't an accident. I just don't want his name to just be left in vain. You know what I'm saying? I could bring up some more stuff. I might do it. It might just be a freelance or a free glance that I might just do an overview as to, and just compile everything in just like a little 10, 15 minute video and just do it like that and just call it like the finale or something. I don't know. I'm out, family. Come on, spontaneous views. What happened to Malcolm, part 3.